Let's go to Vienna now, and Farid Hafez is there. Farid is a lecturer and researcher at the University of Salzburg. He's also written an award-winning book about Islamophobia. Farid, thank you for joining us on TRT World. What are your thoughts at this time?
Well, first of all, I think in terms of the reactions, you see a very courageous and also experienced and important leadership qualities on behalf of the Prime Minister and how she's reacting in terms of her discourse on this incident. At the very same time, it lets me really think about what are the reactions we have this time in New Zealand, last time when Anders Behring Breivik in Norway did this terrorist attack and killed 77 people during a youth camp. And it also lets me rethink how the reactions are when we have a terrorist attack committed by extremist jihadists or people from a Muslim background, and how then the reactions are. And I think we see two very different patterns here. One is the pattern of let's come together, let's be united, let's stand united, and let's defend everybody and try to support a peaceful coexistence. This is what happens normally when anti-Muslim terrorism happens, while on the other side, when a terrorist act happens on behalf of jihadi people, there is a call for more surveillance, there is a call and also, in terms of the media coverage, it's very much like trying to generalize, to not speak only about jihadi people, but have a larger debate on is Islam compatible with Europe, with the West, or whatever. So I see here two different patterns, and I think we should also have a critical attitude towards how these different incidents are shaped also by political leaders.
Farid, you raised so many points there. While you're talking to us, we're seeing the official proceedings beginning in Christchurch. In just a few minutes, there's going to be a call to prayer, which is going to be broadcast around the whole of the country. There, dressed in black with the headscarf, is the New Zealand Prime Minister, Jacinda Ardern. But just before this call to prayer begins, just to pick up on one of your points, Farid, you talk about what's going on in the rest of the world outside of New Zealand. No country stands alone. You're speaking to us from the middle of Europe, and possibly a country that's at the forefront of anti-immigration sentiment. The Austrian Chancellor is very much to the right. There are other countries that are on his side in terms of how outsiders should be welcomed into their nations. And does all of that feed into this fear of the other, the person that isn't like me or like you?
Well, I think, first of all, when we speak about anti-Muslim discourse, then this is something we have all around the world. It's not restricted even to what we normally refer to as the Western Hemisphere, but rather it's a global issue. So definitely, I would say, especially, on behalf of those groups who do disseminate this kind of ideology within their own circles or a wider public sphere, people coming from the far right or the so-called counter-jihad movement, who I think is very much responsible also for large parts of these ideologies. That's something that has to be...
OK, Farid, I'm sorry. I'm going to have to interrupt you because Jacinda Ardern is speaking in Christchurch, and we have to listen.